Hey guys, hope you are going well. Let's recap episode 6 now of Penny Dreadful, called No Beast So Fierce. The opening for this episode was so strong, and actually the closing too. I really liked how the opening and closing of this episode kind of bookended and mirrored each other in a really cool way. I felt like this episode was probably one of the standouts and probably the best ensemble episode we've seen all season. We got to see all our characters and see, like, check in with what everybody is up to, and everybody got quite a significant advancement in their storyline, which I thought was really cool. Now, Justine, Lily's little protege, of who Lily sees so much of herself mirrored in those eyes, I feel like she is really trying to drive this wedge between Dorian and Lily and overstep her mark, you know? I really feel like we're gonna have some huge blowout between Justine and Dorian, because it's a love triangle situation, which was all like hunky-dory a couple of episodes ago, but now time has passed and the three of them are trying to live harmoniously. Dorian says to Lily that he feels Justine doesn't know her place, to which Lily replies, "Justine thinks the same about you." And Dorian really has to assert his authority here and say that he's the one who belongs at Lily's side. They are equals, they are partners and immortals. Yeah, I feel like I'm not really sure when Justine or Dorian make their play. I don't know whose side Lily is gonna take. Now, Victor Frankenstein was really irritating me lately. He turned from this lovesick puppy into a creepy stalker with his obsession to purify Lily and, you know, cure her and have her back the way that she originally, like the way he originally created her. And his obsession was just becoming a little bit bothersome because that man cannot take a hint. But this week, when he finally has finished his miracle cure and broke into the mansion to try and kidnap Lily and then was humiliatingly thrown out, I really felt this seed planted between Victor and Dorian. There could be an alliance that forms there, because maybe Dorian sees, like, he doesn't quite understand Lily, and I find that Lily's become such an incredibly complex character. Who knows, maybe it will be Dorian who calls a favor back on Victor and has Victor try and out Justine in some way in return for curing Lily. All just speculating here, but it is going to blow up. Now from here, the gender divide could not have been more apparent as we go from Dorian's mansion, which is filled with all these women, and Dorian being the only sort of man allowed within their confines and within their ranks, over to the Wild West and in America in the house of Jared Talbot, and the testosterone is through the roof. Now this is undoubtedly the most intensely tense dinner table that I would never want to be at, as everyone is sitting around the table and there is silence. You could hear a pin drop when Jared asks Ethan to say grace, and then when the gun starts shooting and Hekati is shot dead, I couldn't help but feel a little bit of remorse, like a little bit sad, because at the end of the day she ended up just being like a spoiled brat, and she felt very childish in her affections towards Ethan, and her dreams and plans of ruling the darkness together was all a little bit just naive and childish, I think, in a way. And well, there she goes. And then the showdown in the chapel. Jared Talbot, he is a mean son of a gun, and there was this moment when Ethan and Sir Malcolm are in the doorway approaching the chapel, and my heart was just racing. It was such a cool setup and a cool moment. You know shit is about to hit the fan. And then in that final moment, as Ethan holds a gun to his father's head, I knew there was no way that he would be able to pull the trigger. So then when Malcolm steps out of the shadows and shoots him, like dead on the altar in the house of the Lord, and he falls back Jesus style, I was gobsmacked. I was as gobsmacked as Ethan was standing behind him. Did not see that one coming. So Malcolm stepped up and did the one thing that Ethan didn't have the courage to do himself, and kill his father. It was a battle of the fathers. All the fathers were there. There's Catriona, there's Sir Malcolm and Jared Talbot, all Ethan's father and surrogate fathers and wannabe fathers, and it was like, who's the daddy? I am hoping this wraps up our American storyline in a nice, neat little bow. Everyone's dead. Inspector Rusk, we knew he was gonna be not long for this world with all his idealistic talkings and notions of justice and what is right lawfully and legally. You know, there is just no place in this particular world for his righteousness. Now, Miss Vanessa Ives was being extremely social this week, making lots of house calls, sealing the deal with her new beau, and also making a new ally with Catriona Hartdegen. Catriona is a thanatologist, and she knows a lot about the mythical creatures, especially in this case, vampire and Dracula, and her and Vanessa teaming up to take him on is going to be a force to be reckoned with. So it's kind of cool to have a whole new character come in at this stage in the season. And then of course the climactic moment, no pun intended, when Vanessa gets it off with Dr. Sweet. I felt so much rage. It's so difficult when as an audience you have more knowledge than the character on screen. It's like in a horror movie when somebody runs up the stairs to get away from the killer and you're like, no, don't go up there, you're gonna be trapped. What are you doing, you idiot? Thank you so much for watching, guys. Make sure you leave me comments in the comment section down below. Let me know what your predictions are, especially when it comes to the Dorian, Lily, Justine love triangle. That is going to be a very messy ending, and I really think that Frankenstein is going to be involved in some way there. That is it from me, guys, and I will see you next week. Bye.